Okay, we're back. We're doing the ribbon on the gown, and we're using 4 9-inch pieces of 1/8 inch ribbon. And I'm just going to pin the first one right at the neck edge of the gown. These gowns are tied together. The nurses want these pieces of clothing such that they can be put onto the babies very easily. They don't want any pants or sleeves or buttoned up the front or back or whatever. Anyway, they just want to have ribbons so it's easy to put the garment on the baby. And then I'm just going to top stitch, kind of tack that in place at 1/4 inch. And come down here and do likewise. So I'm basically just tacking the ribbon in place, holding it until it gets caught when I turn under the back edge and top stitch. And this is done just by pulling on this ribbon, pulling it out to the right here. And tugging to make it lay down. And then I'm just going to top stitch, and when I top stitch, it's going to catch that. Right over. So that's how the back of the gown will look with the ribbon added, the ribbon ties. I'm going to lay this aside now and show you how to make the little hat that goes with the gown. And this is the hat piece. It starts out looking kind of like a T. And the first thing we're going to do is find the center of the front. This is the front edge, and this is where the darts will be to form the back of the hat. We're going to find the center front, and we're going to mark that with a pin. And then we're going to find the center of one of the little brims. And we're going to match those up and base that brim in place. These are really cute. Okay, and then I'm just going to baste it in place again, 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to flip over to the serger and just talk to you while I'm doing this. I'm going to serge the front edge of the hat. Then I'm going to come back over here to the sewing machine, and I'm going to turn that edge under and top stitch it. Okay, so that's the front of the hat. So now I'm going to take, with the right side up, I'm going to fold with right sides together along these edges here. This is going to form the dart for the back of the hat to make it cup and fit the baby's head. These little hats are so cute and so quick and easy to make. Okay, now normally we would serge these edges, but because of time constraints, we're going to just leave that now so that I can go on and show you. The bottom edge of this would also be serged and turned up 1/4 inch. I'll go ahead and do that. I need to be able to show you. then we're going to serge on the, I'm serging, show you this, I'm going to serge on the bottom edge of the hat, and I'm going to make sure that those darts are each turned towards the center back of the hat. So I'll lift up and turn that towards the center back, and then before I get to the next one, then I'm going to turn that to the center back. Okay, so I've serged all those, the darts and the bottom edge of the hat. We're almost done with this little hat. Isn't that cute? Okay, and see the darts in the back. Now I'm going to hem this bottom back edge by turning under along the serge line. Again, if you're not using a serger, just stitch a line 1/4 of an inch from the edge and use that as your guide to fold it up and hem it. Okay, so this little hat is almost done, and it's very, very quick. Now the last thing I'm going to do to make this fit the baby's head a little bit better, I'm going to bring those dart lines together, and then, well, I'm going to form a pleat by bringing those dart lines together. There we go. If you can see that, I've just brought them together and mashed flat the pleat in the back. I'll put a couple of pins in to hold it in place while I tack that down. This just makes this little hat fit their head so much better. It cups it under the back of their head, close to their neck. So if you've ever had a big hat on a child, you know that sometimes they just fall right off because they're made to fit like a ball instead of a child's head. Just a couple of times back and forth to tack that will be good. Okay. And there we have the back of the hat. See how it forms that little pleat. Okay, and that's the hat. Now the last thing to be done to the little boy's hat is to sew a piece of 1/8 inch ribbon. I believe they're 12 inches long each, and we're going to make a little loop with our ribbon and tack it to each side of the hat. Now there's lots that could be done to these little hats to personalize them, individualize them, and if you were doing these by yourself, I would encourage that. For our purposes, for the day of service, we're just trying to make quite a few, so we want to do it more of an assembly line fashion, so that's why we're doing them all the same way and using the same fabric. So I just zigzagged a little bit here on the side to hold this loop down. Of course, you do the same thing on the other side. Now, one thing you can also do, if you like to dress it up a little bit, we could fold that little brim back a little bit, tack it down, or put one of the little tiny white buttons right there to hold it in place. We would also put a tie on the other side. But that is the little boy hat that goes with the little gown and makes a nice little set.